Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. On behalf of Weigel's Fuel and Food that's fast, fresh, and friendly, here's your East Tennessee weather update. Got to bring you up to speed. We've got some interesting weather coming our way in terms of heat. It's not necessarily the end of summer, but we'll get into that more than nuts and bolts. But I do want to mention to you, it's back. If you haven't noticed, the Vols are back, and they're on fire. They're in fuego with their win, their first win of the season this past weekend. But that's not news you didn't already know. But did you know they have the orange creamsicle milk now at Weigel's again? Oh yes, it's back for a limited time, probably back by popular demand. A lot of folks love the orange creamsicle milk, especially during football season. The orange creamsicle milk is yummy, rich, and creamy. It's available for a limited time only at Weigel's. Check it out. It's just better when it's fresh. It's better when it's farm to store in 24, and it's just better with Tennessee cows. I want to thank my sponsor, Weigel's, but also want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, let me know because I'd like to see you over here. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube this morning. So if you have a comment, let me know how your Labor Day weekend went because I'd love to know. Was it successful? Did you have a good time? Did you have a special place that you went? As many of you know, I did post where I went this past 3-day weekend, Labor Day weekend, with my family and parents, but I'd be curious to know what, in fact, you did this particular holiday season. But it is back to work, back to school. Let's get to the nuts and bolts. Radar is pretty quiet, but I have added a few stray showers potentially today. Particularly for the Plateau and, dare I say, Smokies. There could be some convergence in the Smokies, but best chance may be the Plateau. We're talking Jamestown. We're talking Crossville. So good morning, Cumberland County, if you're watching. Maybe a few passing showers near Cookeville today. And I think primarily that would occur in the afternoon, if it occurs at all. If I were to put a percentage on it, I'd say it's 20% chance or less. But it might be right at 20% for the Plateau and perhaps parts of the Smokies. So we'll be watching this closely. There's still some heat concerns for friends and family that might live in Dallas, even into southern Oklahoma. Those orange areas refer to heat advisories for them. By the way, it's been a full week since we've had some rain. And when we had rain back on the 29th of August, McGee Tyson picked up 1.01 inches of rain. Funny though, Oak Ridge had like 0.03. So it was one of those situations where some got a lot, some got very little back on the 29th of August, but it has been a full week. And if you're curious, where are the dry areas? Well, this is the deficit, the moisture deficit just over the last 30 days. So if you're keeping track, there are some areas in maybe purple would be about 1/10 of an inch. Some areas you can see there in maybe kind of a lighter blue would suggest maybe closer to 1 inch, but most of us have been dealing with some dry air. We've had such a wet summer, it seems, that we haven't had this be a big problem. May have started off dry, we made up for lost time, and so it goes. I want to say good morning to Fred says good morning, David. Carrie Aguilar says everyone have a blessed and safe and blessed day. She's got her Weigel's cup of coffee, love it. And if you're on YouTube, how many folks are watching me over here? Just kind of curious. Let's see here, I want to dismiss this, but we'll see. Oh, 5 people. So some people get in the habit. I'd love to see if you have a comment. Love to see your note here because I see maybe another pop-up. Steve Stone says good morning. He's happy. Maybe it's Tuesday. You know, it's a short work week, something to celebrate. And we have Vols football to talk about in the 7-day forecast here in mere moments. But the deficit, as far as the dryness, I know your lawn may still be looking good, but there may be some dry areas that say, you know what, I could use a little rain. I think our best chance will come in on Thursday. That's the time we'll watch. Let's get you out the door this morning. Do we have some fog? I think the answer is yes. The way my weather computer is ingesting the data would suggest it's down to about a mile or less in Middlesboro, Bell County, possibly Claiborne County as well. Down to 2 miles or less in Sevierville, Sevier County, and about a mile or less in Wartburg, Frozen Head State Park, Morgan County, and maybe southern Scott County could have some hot spots as far as poor visibility, patches of fog. Doesn't appear to be an issue where you see 10, Knoxville, that's McGee Tyson's representation there. We do not have any problems there around the airport, at least not now. Temperature right now is varied. Usually there is a 5-degree difference, not always, but could be. Usually this time of morning, Crossville 65, Knoxville 70, and Sevierville and Oak Ridge in the mid to upper 60s. That just kind of puts it in a box for you, but you can look at our temperatures around the state. It's 74 in Memphis, it's 72 in Chattanooga, and 76 in Nashville. If we close in a little closer to home, you can see the representation here would be most, he says, are in the 60s. The one standout is Knoxville. McGee Tyson is at 70, but we're 64 Jacksboro, 66 Rockwood, 66 Madisonville at this particular moment. Morristown, Talbot, White Pine, Newport, Dandridge, all around the upper 60s. By the way, did you know, as I come back on camera here a second, did you know that we actually hit 91 degrees yesterday? Now, like 4 days ago, I was going for 92. You mean you were 4 days out and you were off by a degree? That's right. Yeah, I know, it's kind of funny. But anyway, 91 was the high in Oak Ridge. 91 was the high yesterday in Knoxville. I think we'll make a run toward 90 today. And if you're keeping track, some of you do, we had 41 days last year. Everyone thought the world was on fire. We had 7 days. 7 days above normal last year. But this year, it's not even like a half a summer. Some would say we had a lot of humid days, no doubt. But when you add all the rain element that we had much of this summer, we've had only 18 days thus far. We averaged 5 days in September, so yesterday was day 1 for Labor Day. Could very well nudge 90 if not today and tomorrow, so that could bring us up to 2 more. That would bring us to 20, but 20 is a far cry from 34, which is average. And again, it doesn't mean you have to be average, but some people tend to base their lives on averages. And I just want to throw that out there. What's normal, what's not, it is what it is. Dew point temperature 68 in Knoxville. We have a 66-degree dew point in Oak Ridge. It is sticky, but it's not as humid as it could be if it were around 70 plus. So we'll just call it pretty sticky for early September, no doubt. Where you see some green would represent the stuffy air. Might get even stuffier this afternoon based on this map. The stuffy air in dark green. And you can see it really turns dark green from Memphis to Jackson and Nashville to end of the day. Now, if you're hoping the humidity kind of vacates the premises, not going to do so very quickly, it will do later this week. Because Thursday, I think, is our best chance for rain, and this will all come in with a front, and then it works its way out of the picture. So by Thursday afternoon into Friday, the humidity has left the building and has left much of the state. So you're going to love the way the end of the work week arrives. And, of course, we're getting closer to another game day, which, of course, is 5 p.m. Saturday when the Vols take on Austin Peay. If I said that right. Wind speeds, by the way, no wind to speak of. 4 miles an hour in Wartburg, 4 miles an hour in Newport, and the clouds really not a factor. So let me get you out the door. See some clouds here. I see some thicker clouds near Huntsville where some possible showers are going to probably make it into the plateau this afternoon, but nothing to write home about. Sunrise, sunsets today. Times are getting shorter. 7-Eleven, not the convenience store, but that's when the sun comes up this morning. And 7:58 sunsets this evening. So it actually gets down up before 8 o'clock. If you're hoping and longing for cooler days, well, when you start losing daylight hours, you start to lose the possibility of getting that warm. As we look very quickly at the bus stop forecast, temperatures are going to be warming up rapidly from near 70 now to 78 by 10. I suspect by 2 o'clock we're already around 87, and there may be an increase in extra high clouds through the course of today. And that may, again, account for maybe a passing shower. But here are my high temperatures for today. 90 for Maryville, Knoxville, Newport. I'm expecting 88 in Oak Ridge this afternoon with hazy sun, maybe a few stray showers for the Plateau and perhaps the Smokies. 89 for Athens, Tellico Plains, and about 88 in Oak Ridge. I mentioned Oak Ridge. La Follette, 87 degrees. Oneida, about 85 degrees. If you're on the call, want to say hello to you. I see a couple of other notes on YouTube. Wanda Post says, good morning, David. Your pictures and your parents look great. Thank you very much. I have some good genes. My parents are very sweet. I love to be able to go on vacation with them and my family. It's a rare opportunity, believe me, because they're out of state. Hope cool weather comes soon. She likes the cool nights, says Wanda Poe. Felicia's Crafty Adventure says, good morning. Sad to see the sun go down before 8, but that means fall is coming. Have a great Tuesday. And good morning from Kennesaw, Georgia, says Greg LaRouche. Greg's on the road. Greg is a local man, usually in Loudoun County, but glad to know he's there. And I want to come back on camera real quickly, too, because I didn't check Facebook. I was on YouTube because I'm trying to do both. Cheryl Williamson says, good morning. Good morning, Cheryl. And Lana Johnson says, good morning, Captain. Beautiful morning. And Kodak, a little bit of fog on the river here. 2 cups of Weigel's coffee she has, and have a great day. Glad to have Lana Johnson here. By the way, if I mentioned, it's back. The Vols are back. The orange is back, but also the orange creamsicle milk. Oh, this is so yummy. One of my favorite flavors. And you'll find it back for a limited time, just in time for football season. If you haven't tried it, you definitely owe it to yourself. It's a treat, no doubt, and it's available now for a limited time only at Weigel's. Orange creamsicle milk. Next time you go to Weigel's to fill up your tank, maybe do some errands, pick up some cool things. Don't forget the orange creamsicle milk. It's just better when it's fresh. You can pick up a gallon of milk while you're there too. Farm to store in 24. They've been serving East Tennessee now since 1931. Over 90 years. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. So thanks again to Weigel's as we continue on here at 6:50. I'll be done at the top of the hour. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer both platforms because I still got a lot to cover, including future smoke and allergies. Oh, I knew you'd say it. I was hoping you'd say it get better. Well, first of all, we need rain, and we are now in the Super Bowl season of ragweed, which usually is centered around, of course, Labor Day weekend. And that's just now, yesterday, was Labor Day. So I'll call it raging ragweed because it comes on strong. Grasses may be very low. Molds might be low to moderate. Those two areas may not be the big culprits, but ragweed typically can be high to extreme this time of year. So make sure you take care of yourself and your loved ones because, you know, it's not maybe just you that has the wheezing, sneezing, coughing, headache behind the eye. There's a lot of symptoms, and it affects all of us, perhaps in different ways. I'm no doctor, but I can tell you as a meteorologist, it is in the air, and it might be bothering you. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, the YouTube channel subscription is free. You just go to youtube.com/@CaptainAccurate. You'll find it there. And I'm actually closing in on 1,000 subscribers. I love it. We've grown quite a bit in the last few weeks that I've been promoting. But check it out, youtube.com/@CaptainAccurate. We're getting more folks on there. Love the fact that you're following me there as well. I got a happy Tuesday from Marilyn Bell. Hope everyone's doing great. And Darcy Soar, she's over here. She said very foggy this morning. So she's in the fog area. Not everybody has it, but please make sure you use the low beams because the sun doesn't come up now until 7:11 this morning. So we'll be watching that closely. Mention YouTube. We now have 9 people watching over here. Melissa Mumpower says, good morning, be blessed. David, thank you. And Greg talking about he's in Georgia this morning. Glad to have him. Hope he's staying safe. By the way, we've had quite a few storms develop and fade away, which is the argument that we name everything that every wave that comes to shore gets a name. That's kind of maybe an extreme way to look at it, but that's the way it maybe is perceived because all the storms that are on the tropical playground right now have really no chance of getting to the United States at least in the next 7 days. So if you look at these storms, got one in yellow that jumps out at me. It's not even heading here. It's 20% chance it goes out the other way. So we have now 100% chance, as from the wording from the National Hurricane Center, we'll probably get the name Lee because we had Katia and she faded just as quickly as she formed. But this is the latest update in the bottom left-hand corner from 2 o'clock this morning. So we have one storm that could get the name Lee, and the next one might be Margot. So they got the one that's coming off of Africa, 70% chance that these storms get names within the next 7 days. That's how this is to be interpreted. So this is the 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook from the Hurricane Center, but no named storms, nothing really serious to track at this point, but we'll keep an eye on it. That's the whole point of it. But we have gone through, of course, Dahlia caused a lot of damage, we know, even some loss of life, I'm in the understanding of, but Jose and Katia were basically kind of duds, and Gert came back to life, and then she went away. So it's very prominent to point out that Lee, Margot, and Nigel are the next 3 names on the list as we continue on. But we are going to be approaching the final peak of hurricane season, which is usually the 10th of September. So 2 more storms in red. They get names. This is historically the time that it usually appears in the Atlantic. Let's get to the smoke, because wildfire smoke can be bothersome, especially if you're sensitive to humidity. There's a good chance you're sensitive to smoke. You're sensitive to ragweed. We get it all in East Tennessee, don't we? I mean, if you think about it, we do. We get a lot. And the future smoke really does not, I repeat, not put much of it in Tennessee. Maybe a little plume or 2 near Huntsville. And this is all based on modeling, but it would suggest it works its way maybe just south of Nashville. Nothing really to report on the future smoke, which is good. I like to keep an eye on it because sometimes we like to wonder, hey, is there something in the air? It's a very good question to ask. By the way, here are my headlines at 6:54. Stray showers are possible. It was kind of an audible looking at the data this morning that there could be a stray shower for the Plateau or the Smokies particularly, and I would label it as a 20% chance or less. Emphasis on less. Spotty storms tomorrow, though, I do think is a 20% chance area-wide, and our best chance, 40%, will come in on Thursday if you're looking for some rain for the lawn or perhaps some of the garden areas that maybe need a little help from Mother Nature. 70 degrees is our current temperature at the airport. You can see we've got 93% relative humidity. Dew point is still high in the upper 60s. officially it is a little icky and sticky. There it is, Neyland Stadium. By the way, we got 40% chance of rain on Thursday, but good news is zero, he says. Zero chance right now on Saturday. Of course, things can always change. It's summer. But right now, my expectation is that our best chance will come in on Thursday, as we will be preparing for the next game, the first home game of the season, this upcoming Saturday. Here's my Valley planner for the next 12 hours. Make a run toward 90. As I mentioned yesterday, we hit 91. So this would be 1 degree cooler than yesterday, but 4 degrees above average. The average high for the 5th of September is, in fact, 86 this time of year. So I left hazy, sunny clouds, and just the verbiage, stray showers. Could we get a rumble of thunder in the plateau? It's possible. But I think even that, again, chance of rain is pretty slim today, but not zero in all areas. Here's the Storm Prediction Center. You can see where they put some thunder in light green. It's nowhere near Knoxville, but they kind of put it near the plateau. It's like right on the edge or the fence where there could be some rock and roll weather. When I say that, scattered severe storms in yellow would include Minneapolis, St. Paul, St. Cloud, and Duluth. So if you have family up in that part of the world and up toward Wisconsin, they may find some scattered severe storms. Best chance will be there. Anything that's isolated severe would be in dark green west of St. Louis, stretching into parts of central Oklahoma and North Texas, but really not here. They even put a little passing thunderstorm in Jamestown. So we're in the same line of thought here, that the risk for a severe thunderstorm is not local, but the chance for a general thunderstorm can't be ruled out in parts of the plateau later today. Tomorrow, all that moves a little bit further east into western Kentucky, West Tennessee, that area in dark green that stretches from Detroit, Indianapolis, Louisville, Nashville, Memphis. That would be your Wednesday outlook. I do have a 20% chance area-wide for some storms of the general variety for Wednesday itself. And last but not least, I do have a 40% chance of rain on Thursday. The way the Storm Prediction Center looks at it now, and this is through their lens, they've got Little Rock, Fort Smith, Fayetteville for an isolated severe storm, maybe even some severe storms that are isolated from Scranton to Baltimore to Washington, D.C., and south toward Pittsburgh. And then for us, maybe a general thunderstorm here. But I think, again, we'll be watching Thursday. See how warm it gets and how potentially strong some of those storms may or may not be. All right, it is 6:57. I'm going to be done on time, but I can show you this. This kind of highlights a little bit of green in Memphis, 8 o'clock. A little bit of green there right along the Kentucky-Tennessee line at noon. So if we get some storms, it would be around midday or if not early afternoon. There's a few showers. Look at that. It tries to squeeze under the blue H. It puts it right north of Knoxville there. I think it might be a little further west, but we'll see how that plays out. High pressure, weak area of high pressure slides south toward Atlanta by tomorrow. We bring in a 20% chance of storms tomorrow. You can see some green there, and then it kind of falls apart by 5 p.m. So it's just really not widespread. Best chance will come in on Thursday. This one puts it early in the morning. Best chance early morning, but I think we have a chance later in the day as well. Just depends on how quickly this blue line rides into town. Eventually it will, but I think it will be the focal point for a couple of showers like so, and then it'll be on its merry way, and we won't worry about it after that. Friday looks dry to me, as does Saturday at this point. So let me show you the future cast. By midday, that's usually a good test. If we got 90 on the expectation board today, which I do, how quickly you think we can warm up? Now this puts crazy rain in Middlesboro. This is really the outlier of all the models I've been looking at today. It does put some plateau rain, but it puts a little shower activity just northwest of Morristown at noontime. But that's 84 degrees around lunchtime, which runs towards 90. This may be a little more aggressive than I would put it on the board, but again, I like to show it to show you that there is some disagreement in many of the models, oftentimes what we consult. By the way, as the futurecast looks dry tomorrow morning, maybe a few isolated showers developing tomorrow. Some of this, again, is kind of like the heavy rainmaker of the two models. Don't see this is not the consensus for sure. But I can tell you, by the time we move into about midday Thursday, we'll have at least another round of some showers. So here we are at 6:59, finishing up here at 90 degrees, my expectation today. Hazy and humid, stray showers still a possibility. It's been a full week since we've had any measurable rain at McGee-Tyson. I don't think everyone will see rain today, but it's still on the table. 90 for Chattanooga, 90 for Nashville, 91 in Memphis, should reach about 92 in Jackson. If you're in Morristown, White Pine, Russellville, about 89. If you're in Middlesboro, you're in Tazewell, New Tazewell, about 88 today. 90 Maryville, Alcoa, 87 Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, about 88 in Clinton, Oak Ridge. Overnight lows tonight should drop down to about 67 in Knoxville, 67 Morristown, and 67 in Crossville. All right, so for tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Patches of fog develop again by morning. Low temperatures around 67 degrees. I'm taking a look here at the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. It is now 7 o'clock. 91 tomorrow. Again, that's going to be predicated on whether or not we see that rain in the morning or afternoon, but I think we've got a good chance of reaching 90 today, 91 tomorrow. Mid-80s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, game day. Of course, this is a 5 o'clock start, so we'll probably be pretty close to that 86 for kickoff, with the game being played in the lower to mid-80s. Of course, when the sun goes down by Saturday, it'll be closer probably to 7:45 when the sun actually sets. 85 for Sunday, bright sunshine, but the humidity really drops late week. With overnight lows in the low 60s, it's going to feel a little more easier to take low humidity, more refreshing, more comfortable, and all the rest, something we'll be watching very closely. By the way, if you haven't noticed, it's back. If you go to Weigel's, talking not only the balls, but the orange creamsicle milk, back for a limited time. Oh, this is a crowd favorite when it initially came out, and some folks who had that sad face when it disappeared. Well, the good news is it's back for a limited time. Back for a limited time only at Weigel's. Orange creamsicle milk. It is yummy, rich, and creamy. You gotta love it. It's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24. Grab a bottle of milk or some chocolate milk as well. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. We love Weigel's here, and I'm certainly very thankful for my sponsor. So when you go in there, tell them Captain Accurate sent you. By the way, if you're on the call, want to say hello? Oh, I got Greg, I got Melissa. Steve Stone says, everyone give a thumbs up. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. We've had 8 people now. Ooh, we're adding some people on YouTube and Facebook. Of course, with my standard where I've been most of the time, it says Happy Tuesday, says Marilyn. I hope everyone's doing great. And Darcy says it's been very foggy this morning. Cheryl Williamson was also saying good morning. Anyway, very thankful for you. Very thankful for Weigel's. If you haven't, if you're new to town, make sure you pick up some of their hot coffee. Awesome coffee, as well as their chocolate milk, or a cold drink on a hot day like today. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.